Hey again YouTube, StickGuy187 back again with a quick review for you of the Mora Light My Fire Swedish FireSteel knife. Bought this from my girlfriend a little while back and she loves it. She's had a Mora for a little while. She's been using it as a gardening knife. And it got so dull I had to try to sharpen it again. Works fine now, but we wanted to get her a new one. And so we got her the Mora Light My Fire. She wanted a knife that came with a ferro rod, and she also wanted a Mora, and hey, this was the perfect option for her. I got her in red. You can get it in orange. I think there's a green and a black model. I got it in red because it is a nice visibility. You can also get the orange for the high visibility as well. If you get the green or the black and you drop it or the knife falls out, it's a little more difficult to find it in a forest environment. So it was just a choice. I think it also comes in blue. The knife itself it's basically your standard Mora knife. Mora in the past has made both high carbon steel and stainless steel. This one is a stainless steel model, so you can't strike a spark with like quartz or flint or anything like that. But the stainless steel also won't rust as much. They've done a 25-degree angle on the blade, which is pretty much a standard. If you have a Mora and say you have like a Canadian work sharp or a regular work sharp, the 25-degree angle, that's the angle that you're going to be sharpening this one on. This one is also one of the models, let's see if I can show it to you guys, that has a reprofiling on the front blade that gives you a much thinner, finer tip. This is great for processing small and medium game because it will go through the tendon, the meat, the skin really, really easily. It also gives you that ability to do really fine tip work. The knife itself is very, very sharp. It will give you really, really nice little curls. Hopefully I'm getting this in frame. I'm actually letting the knife do all the work. Just doing a little bit of a thumb push on it, and I'm getting really nice little curls from it. You can use the spine of the knife, because it's that hard 90, to strip bark off of the wood, to create powder, to get a spark going. I find it's actually a really comfortable handle too. Some of the Mora handles, I've had a Mora knife for about almost 25 years now. It was, at one point Mora would sell the blade blanks, so this part itself, and you can make your own handles and customize it. That's what I have. So the knife that I have, the Mora knife that I have, is a custom handle, so it's super comfortable. It's designed for my hands when I was like 8. Yeah, still super comfortable. The Mora knife that my girlfriend has now, her garden knife, is not quite as comfortable as this one. I think adding the FireSteel, they might have modified the handle a little bit, so it's quite comfortable. It's got a slight swell, and the grip is actually, it fits in the hand really nicely, and it gives you a nice secure grip. It's a rubberized plastic overmold, in case you're wondering. So in the garage that I'm in right now, I turned off the heat because the furnace was pretty damn loud. It's about 9 degrees Celsius in here. I'm a little cold, I'm a little shivery actually, even with the sweater and the jeans on. But this overgrip is nice and grippy even in this weather. Might as well start talking about the Light My Fire part of this. This is the Light My Fire ferro rod. I'll admit, it's a really short, not super thick ferro rod, but it's a very good ferro rod. It gives you a nice, I think they said something like 2900 degree spark, and you can strike it with the spine of the knife very easily. How easily? Well, hopefully you guys can see this. I've got, if you'll remember my live fire on a budget video, this is the cotton balls and petroleum jelly, and I'm just going to rough up. I'm not even going to do that great of a job with it. Let's see how well the live fire sparks work. roughing it up again. Ooh, saturated. I might have done a little too much saturation on this one. There we go. I had a little more petroleum jelly to it, so it obviously takes a spark just fine now, even with super saturation of petroleum jelly. You notice I didn't put it out the way I normally do, which is just the cap, because I've got here some natural tinder, semi-natural tinder, natural fiber tinder, jute twine, that I've just broken down into the oakum, and we'll see how well the spark catches it. You're always going to get carbonization on your blade when you use it to light sparks. But yeah. Yay, jute twine. Gonna have to set myself on fire when I lean back. I mean, it's a great little knife. Like I said, this is just a piece of lumber from around the garage. It's minus 15 degrees outside. I don't think I really want to go out and chop down a tree just so I can show you guys processing. But this is about a centimeter thick. Just with my hand, I mean, it doesn't even take any effort to split something like this. Set it in, tap, tap, let the knife do the work. I mean, it's a great little knife. It'd be like a secondary belt knife for me. Look at that. Like, the knife is just doing all the work. Start using that really fine tip for making a notch. Yeah. Notch is just fine. Stop saying just fine. I know. I use just fine a lot. It's a really good knife. Truthfully, it was about $35, and for that price you get the ferro rod, a good stainless steel blade, a good quality stainless steel blade too. In an emergency, if I had to, I don't know, cut something out of myself, I wouldn't really have a problem doing it with a knife like this. It wouldn't be the first time I've had to perform emergency surgery on myself with a knife. Get me verschnicket enough, and I'll share that story with you. The sheath overall, I mean, there's really nothing to write home about the sheath. Standard drain hole. It's a plastic sheath that you can slide onto your belt and it'll hold it in place in the retention. It's a very rigid sheath, you know, but it's actually a fairly decent sheath overall. And it does allow you easy access to your knife. The retention on the knife is actually it's not like, it's a bit more like a Kydex sheath in that, holy crap, get off my belt. It's actually pressure from the sheath itself on the knife handle that is holding this in place. They give you actually a nice little ramp here so that it helps you push on it to get the knife out. All told, I mean, this is probably now going to be Nikki's primary carry for her field knife. I'm going to get one for myself, either the Mora Light My Fire or maybe just a classic Mora companion. But for about 40 bucks would be the max I'd pay for something like this, just because you can get them separate. You can get a good Mora with a good ferro rod. You can get them separate, about say 20 bucks and 20 bucks, or 25 bucks and 25 bucks. And you know, you can still have the same thing as this. So yeah, overall, it's a really good knife. The sheath, while nothing to write home about, is perfectly functional. The knife itself, I mean, it's good enough for camp work. It'll do your bush work. Like you saw, I can process small lumber with it without even trying. And for more to include, the Light My Fire brand ferro rod in it is really, really handy. It gives you that added redundancy, and you will always have a way to start your fire so long as you have your knife. Lose your ferro rod, you know, okay, you lost part of your knife, so you'll probably look for it. You can buy replacement ferro rods. I've seen them on Mora's website, so you don't have to worry that if this wears out, oh God, what the hell is the point? Now you can get a new one. Actually, I believe it's the entire piece, so you should also be able to get a new one if you lose it. I will probably myself get a Mora companion series that's a little bit cheaper because I already have multiple ferro rods. I've got the rod that came with the Cold Steel Bowie Bushman, and I got the rod I bought to replace that one. And then I've also got the magnesium block rod that you buy when you're a fool learning how to start out. Mora Bushcraft Black is also a really great knife. It comes with its own little ferro rod on the sheath, but I can't justify the added price tag for that one. But yeah, you guys should go out and pick yourself up a Mora knife. While they may not be the be-all, end-all, they're a really great starter knife, especially because you can pick up some of the lower-end ones for $5 to $10 to $15, and you can get yourself a really great starter bush knife. Learn how to make the traps with it, get comfortable with it, maybe upgrade it, and get yourself a Mora Pathfinder or one of the larger knives. So that's about it, guys. Thanks so much for watching the video, and you know, if you like these kinds of videos, please like, please subscribe, please share. Until next time, guys, I'm Stick Guy 187. Stay sharp.